Hey, another beautiful, amazing day to all people of the way. This is the very first edition of Fun Fridays, and we're just a tad behind on schedule, aren't we, baby girl?
Oh, just a little, but we have had such an amazing, productive day today.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely did. And it's just so exciting to learn all of the things that we have in the past couple of days, things that we are very much looking forward to sharing with each and every single one of you guys. And, you know, in the spirit of this month, in the spirit of the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot, we had to watch one of our favorite movies. This movie is such a masterpiece for so many reasons.
It really
V
is.
for Vendetta, isn't it? My God,
Oh, my
it is
goodness.
just such a masterpiece.
In the times that we are currently living in, to see the parallels with what we are experiencing right now in this point of time, there are no words.
Yeah, really. And yeah, as mentioned in the caption, beyond the obvious and the clear message behind the film, which is revolution, which is justified rebellion against the corrupt governments and powers that be, you see a very powerful example of divine masculine energy and how the spirit of a sovereign man can heal the world. I mean, that's what you can see in the character V, right, baby girl?
That's right. Yeah. And the impact that he has not only on the feminine, but the world, his world that he is living in, the impact that he creates just by being his true self.
Yes.
Yeah.
And living what he knew was true
Mhm. His
without
truths.
compromise, without apologizing. And it is the most powerful thing to do this show with you because a man's perspective, a man's opinions are nowhere near as powerful without the cosign, the approval, the confirmation of an awakened woman, that which you are.
Hmm. Completely
They're nowhere
agree.
near as valid as the confirmation that a divine feminine woman, aware of her energy, gives it. And so, yeah, it's just the most beautiful thing to be able to talk about these things with you because we see a lot in these spiritual circles. We
Mhm.
still see a lot of men capitulating to the stronger, more potent energy of the feminine.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really funny and
Mhm.
yet not so funny to see this because a woman's energy, a woman's spirit flourishes in the presence of a man who knows who he is. The
Absolutely.
potency of a woman's energy is much more powerful than that of a man's, but a man is needed because he gives guidance, direction
Mhm.
to that energy. And that is exactly what V does for Evie,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
her name, ironically enough, in the movie, right? And from the very beginning, you you see this character who has no face, no identifying features. He, off the bat, identifies with the divine masculine because the masculine is the form and the formless. He
Yes.
has no form, so to speak. He is the void. That is what V represents. He is pure masculine energy. And you see how his grounding presence, the power in his voice, weren't those just a few of the sexiest things about V? I mean, what other
Yeah.
things could you think about that made V so magnetic and so attractive as a man, even though he didn't even have a physical appearance or accounting
Mhm.
for looks? A lot of men, they think that looks is what women
Mhm.
find attractive, these superficial elements, right? But is that true?
No, it was his grace. It was his, even his style, you could say. Although there was nothing specifically tying him to certain, what would you call it?
Fashion trends and
Yes, that's right. But he was still very classy. He was a
elegant.
very classic man, yes, elegant.
Yeah.
The way he moved, the things that he watched and listened to, the music.
The way he
And
entertained himself.
yes, that's right.
His pad was player as fuck.
Oh my gosh. He had
The
such,
music at his place, no doubt, that shit smelled amazing.
yeah,
He had art. And
the art.
gentlemen, as you watch this movie, take notes.
Yes.
This man's place was decorated, decadent, clean, orderly,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like a sanctuary,
Yes.
right?
Yes. It was beautiful. It really was. And it felt inviting. It felt like you were in the presence of something, of someone, of just such a great, I wouldn't say power, but somebody who is in sovereignty, right? And it just,
Yes,
yes,
right.
that's the exact word. Mm-hmm.
Someone who has complete dominion over his realm,
Absolutely, that's right.
everything in its proper place. He was completely comfortable, he was completely free, and
He was.
he was himself. That, undoubtedly, as I'm sure you can agree,
Mhm.
is the most attractive thing about V. V was absolutely himself,
Yeah,
and he never once apologized for it.
he did not. Hmm.
That
No, he lived.
really,
No, sorry.
yeah, no worries, baby girl. That really is the sexiest thing that a man can be, is himself without apologizing. And what were you
Exactly.
going to say, honey?
Now I was going to say that he walked and lived and spoke in truth. And there was nothing that anybody could say or do to steer him from his mission and his purpose.
Yes.
That was him. That was what he was about. This is what his life's work went to. It was for his purpose. And I love how, by the end of the movie, he accomplished his purpose. But what he did not take in account for was the love that he would find from Evie. And so I don't want to spoil too much. So I don't, because people have probably not seen this movie. And if you haven't, please go and watch it. But by the end, yes, he completes his purpose, but he has also found love in Evie, in this divine feminine who blossomed in his presence. She blossomed by his masculinity, feeling safe and secure. She didn't realize initially, because she did go through some trials. She did have to get broken down before she could escape her mind and escape her fears. But once that was accomplished, she was truly free. And she was only able to do that with his guidance and
And he
with
caused her a
his,
lot of pain, though, didn't
he
he?
did.
One could
He did.
even say that V
Mhm.
broke her heart
Yes,
on
initially.
more than one occasion throughout this
Yeah,
movie.
definitely.
And yet he never once felt sorry for it. He never once apologized.
No.
He would do it all over again if he could, in other
Right.
words.
And she was thankful
Gentlemen,
for it.
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say she was thankful for it when
Right.
she realized what he actually did for her
In the long run.
in the long run. That's right.
In the short term, in that instance, she
hmm
was indignant. She was very upset.
Oh, she hated him.
Deeply,
hmm
deeply upset over what he was doing.
hmm
But he never wavered. And although she did not like the things that she did, the things that he did, excuse me, he never apologized for it.
No,
That earned her respect for him.
it did.
She may not have liked the things that he did or the path that he chose at the end, but she respected him for it. A man does not worry about whether he is liked. His main concern is whether he is respected. And although a man that is grounded in his truth, in his purpose as a sovereign man may cause pain to a woman's ego, that man's spirit, because it is in alignment with the way of truth, beauty, and love, it brings out the best in her through levels of ego death, through very painful, triggering conversations,
Yeah.
circumstances, experiences. And this is something that most women are afraid of. Their
100.
ego is afraid of what will happen and the transformation that will occur in the presence of a man this grounded. And you can attest to your experience with me as a man that knows who he is, as a man that takes the lead in manifesting his life.
hmm That's
You
right.
can attest to that as well. And it isn't contrived. It is something that has brought the best out in you, just as you've brought the best out in me, just as Evie brought the best out in V.
That's right.
That is what we're here to do at the end of the day.
It is.
And V did that for her, just as a sovereign man does that for a woman. And we've had conversations surrounding spirituality, sexuality that may not have been all that comfortable, that may have triggered the shit out of you. But at the end
But
of the
when,
day,
hmm
you know that it is expanding the love within your spirit. It is expanding your mind, your consciousness. That is what a
hmm
man does when he is grounded and lives from a space of truth, beauty, and love. And that is what Evie experienced with V. That is why she, at the end of the film, and at the beginning of the film, I believe,
hmm
says that this is a man she will never forget. And
Yeah,
although they didn't end up together, right?
that's right.
Really, in spirit, they were never separated. They were
hmm
always one.
Yeah, that's right. And that is just one of the many things that we learn through this movie. That is one side that gives us that truth, of the divine masculine and the feminine and how they inspire each other and how they grow together. But there are
Yes.
other things that we also get from this movie. Are we going to go into them?
Oh my God, absolutely we can. I mean, we've got
Yeah.
no shortage of time. We
Uh-huh.
definitely can. You know what I found was so funny was
Yeah.
when Evie was watching The Count of Monte Cristo, with V. When V invited her to watch it with him, shortly before, he was like fencing. He was training. And you can
Yeah.
see how V takes himself seriously, but not too seriously. He
Yeah.
has fun. He's playful. He has a personality. And it's all of these things that intrigued her about V. You know, V also, through the way in which he enjoyed life, through the way in which he treated her, he was the perfect gentleman. But at the same time, he did not play into her illusions of
Mm-hmm.
what love is. And that is what a man does. A man dissolves the illusions that society has planted in a societal woman's mind.
Yeah.
We live in a world filled with fantasies and Disney ideals, Disney
Mhm.
princess ideals of what love is. And all of
Yeah.
that shit is exactly what it is. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
it is.
And it does not feel good to acknowledge that, yeah, those are illusions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what we learn from our religious backgrounds, our
Mm-hmm.
society,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, what our family teaches us isn't
Yeah.
actually what we know to be true. And V asks Evie when Evie, I can't remember specifically what Evie says to him. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
yes, this is after Evie acts in in a moment of desperation to save V from getting hurt. And she wonders why she did that. Like,
Yeah.
she must be
That's
mad. She must be crazy.
right.
And V asks her, is that what you think? Or is that what society wants
Yeah,
you to think?
that's right.
That is the kind of shit that a man has a woman think about.
Yeah.
And she's
To
able to do so
yeah.
because in the safety and security of his grounded presence, she's
Mm-hmm.
able to sit back and reflect on what it is she actually wants and who she really is.
Yeah, that's right.
Without all of the noise around her, she's able to take a moment in his presence, in the safety of his embrace, and think about who she really is and what she really wants.
Mm-hmm.
That is the gift that a man can give a woman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And she wanted, at the end of the day, to have him all to herself, to choose her over his purpose. But the truth is, would she have respected him? Would she have loved him as much if he chose to leave it all behind and choose her?
No, not at all. Because at the end of the day, many people think that what they want is all this attention to be on them and to to be kind of obsessed over in a way, right? That's what many
Yeah.
people feel should
We're
be the
conditioned
way.
to.
Yeah, we are.
We're
We are
conditioned to
definitely
think that
that
way.
way.
We
But
live in, yeah, go ahead, baby girl, go ahead.
I just when that is the case, however, you realize it's not what you want. You, as a
Mm-hmm.
woman, you do not want a man to be obsessed with you. You do not want a man to be constantly, where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? What are you know? You don't want to feel
Mm-hmm.
like you have this tracking device on you that is
Oh
your
my
partner.
God, baby. You're my everything. I swear to God.
Like, and
I love you
as
more than
much as
anything.
women,
Fuck out
they
of here.
feel that that is what they want, but no, you don't, because when you have it, you come to realize, like,
You're not
oh,
about shit,
you know what? Like, and then they turn around and say,
motherfucker.
oh, he's clingy, he
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly. That
leave me
shit is annoying.
alone.
A man
Exactly.
must be who he is.
Yes. And allow that
A man
space.
must be who he is. Yes.
Exactly. Allow
Yeah,
that space.
that's it.
Allow for that time to, oh, what's the word? To wonder, to be intrigued by what is he doing? I know he's busy. I know he's working, and he's not always getting back to me. But when he does, it is,
He has
it is
chosen to do so and to give the fullness of his presence, his
exactly,
undivided attention to
that's
you.
exactly what I
And that
was
is a
thinking.
gift.
Mhm. It is. It truly is. Because what is the point in having somebody who is only giving you a portion of themselves? but then is too busy in all these other things as well. But
Yeah,
they are always there, but it's only a part of them. It is not the full them.
exactly.
You would rather somebody, be busy doing what it is that they need to do. And you as well, keep yourself busy. Don't be sitting there always waiting for, the man to come to speak to you, or you're not sitting there just waiting around. You are keeping yourself also busy and active and productive, right?
And
Because
that's sexy as fuck too. When a woman
absolutely,
has that level of awareness too, you know, it
that's it,
is, it is.
and then
And yeah,
no, this is when you both come together. You come together to truly be there for each other, to be present,
you've
to
chosen
be,
to do
yeah,
so.
you have, and you put away everything else that you're working on. You leave it,
Yeah,
and now it's time to relax with each other. It's time to recuperate from all the work. It's time to be energized in each other's presence, because when you are with that right person, the energy that is created between the two of you, you don't really need to sleep that much, because
yeah.
the energy is just created from that space that you create when you are together.
Freely being received and reciprocated
Yes. Yeah.
when we don't live from an obsessive space and state of
Yeah.
mind and state of being. Our society is very much, it's a case of possession, obsession.
Yep.
Very much so. For all who
Yeah.
listen to Daryl Hall and Oates,
Yeah.
possession, obsession.
Hmm.
That's what we've got. We've got cases of possession, obsession,
Yeah.
really.
Definitely.
But
That's right.
love is appreciation over
It is.
possession. It
Mhm.
is connection over attachment.
Yeah.
It is synchronicity over coincidence.
That's it. Ah.
Alignment over commitment.
Hmm.
Commitment is forced. Alignment is natural.
Yes. And it's that flip in mindset, isn't it?
A complete
In
paradigm shift in
It is.
consciousness.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And once you awaken to it, there is no denying it after. You cannot deny what you know to be true. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't. You shouldn't deny what you know to be true, because then you're only going against your own truth. And that is not what we should be doing. That is out of alignment. And you
Yeah,
don't want to be out of alignment. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Now,
And it is,
bringing
yeah.
it back to the movie,
Mm-hmm.
because we could speak for hours expanding upon everything that we've just spoken
Oh my
about.
God. And everything that we love, I mean,
Yeah,
good God, not just
yeah,
V
but
for
just,
Vendetta, the
yeah,
masterpiece that it
bringing it
is, but
back
the
to the
many other things
movie.
we look forward to talking about on these editions of Fun Fridays. This is the
Mhm.
time where we share the things that we learn about the things we enjoy, the things that we watch, the games we play, the books we read. That is what
Music as
these
well.
these are all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music we listen to.
Mhm.
Absolutely. There's so much to learn, and it is all a part of the journey.
It is.
It is all a part of the journey. So yeah, this is just the very first edition of Fun Fridays, and yeah, it's just going to get better and better as we continue to let
Definitely.
y'all know about the things that we've learned from the things we enjoy. And we look forward to seeing the things that you guys have to share as well on Fun Fridays.
Yes,
This
please
is what this day is all about in this
give
group,
us some suggestions as well.
Absolutely.
Things that you have found truth in, that we can then go and see and come back to you as well, and let you know what our experience with it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
So yes, I think we'll wrap it up here.
I think so.
But yeah, yeah, it's been a good time talking about all this with you, honey. And yeah, it's just gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Sharing all this with the rest of the community as we continue to grow. It's just been such a beautiful thing to see all the support from the members of the group and to see how much these conversations are resonating and will continue to resonate with you guys. It's such a beautiful thing. But
It
yeah,
is.
we'll just about wrap it up now, huh, honey?
That's it. I was just going to say that we apologize for being that little bit late, but it was literally last moment thinking of wanting to create this fun Friday in this way. We originally were just thinking of creating posts, but we thought, what better way than to create this audio where we can
Honestly, for real.
truly express ourselves. We can truly, you can hear us and you can feel our energy. And so that is why we're a bit delayed today. However, now that we have this structure, we will definitely be organizing it in advance so that we can
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
to you a bit earlier. Yeah,
But it's all good. It's all
it is
good.
absolutely all in perfect timing. It always is.
Naturally. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in. And until next time, thoroughly enjoy the rest of the evening and the rest of the weekend as well.
And we will leave you with this beautifully edited video clip that encapsulates the essence of everything that we just spoke about. We hope you enjoy it.
Remember the 5th of November.
Remember the 5th of November.
The gunpowder treason and plot.
Gunpowder, treason, and plot.
I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be
I know of
forgotten.
no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgotten.
Oh, I do believe in all the things you say. What comes is better than what came before. And you better come to me. Better come to me. Better run to me. Better come. Oh, I do believe in all the things you say. What comes is better than what came before. And you better come to me. Better come to me. Better run to me. Better come. Oh, I do believe in all the things you say. What comes is better than what came before. And you better run to me. Better run to me. Better come to me. Better run.
was it?
Who's Edmund Dantes? And who's my father? And my mother? My brother? My friend? Who is you? And me? Who's all of us? No one will ever forget that night and what it meant for this country. But I will never forget the man and what he meant to me.